Hey, what's up, couch potatoes? We're back for some more spooky season. No spooky season is complete without a little M. Night Shyamalan, or Shyamalama Ding Dong, as we like to call him back in the day. Look, M. Night movies are always going to get a very, very insane reaction one way or the other. I feel like this guy's just been a lightning rod for, the thing that with him is, I think everyone can watch one of his movies and get interested in the hook. It's always how he sticks the landing. But I'll be honest, I feel like a lot of people, I'm guilty of this as well, we go into M. Night movies expecting to be pissed off at the end.
Arms crossed.
I think you go into it not just wanting to hate it, but expecting to think, that was really great, and then you had to go and do that bullshit at the end of it. And I think that's why it's one of those things where I still feel like he's appointment viewing for me. And it's weird. I realize this movie came out in 2021 here. Of course, we're talking about old. I don't know if I ever told you guys we're talking about old here. This is one of those that, like, when I first saw the trailer, I think we both saw the trailer, like, okay, well, I'm interested. I mean, every one of his movies, even the ones I go back to and I think about, like The Village or Lady in the Water, where I'm like, I had a really vicious reaction to it where I just was so pissed off about it. But I'll watch, the preview for it, and I'm like, oh, I'm interested. He has such great hooks.
And I'm here for the twist. I love the twist.
No.
Martini with a twist.
I'm like, just because your breakout film had like one of the craziest, most satisfying endings ever, and just twist endings, it was just so good. I feel like he just feels like he has to do it now.
See, and I didn't see that film. I saw Unbreakable.
Oh, I mean,
that was my first M. Night experience, and I remember sitting in the theater.
Unbreakable was good.
See, we are making an M. Night thing.
See, the thing is, like we said before we started this, I don't want to make this a movie just about M. Night, because we could talk for hours about M. Night movies.
We should do his
We'll probably do a separate video for that. But we're talking about old here, and I'm just saying that, like, everyone goes into his movies, and I had heard about this movie. A lot of people said it was really good. A lot of people said it was really shit. So I was just like, okay, so it sounds like it, because even
typical
Peacock, we watched it on Peacock, and Peacock has like the critics rating and the audience rating, and they were both like in the low 50s. I was like, that, and she was like, oh no, that's what I was like, that's what I expect with an M. Night movie, because you're going to piss off half the audience. It's just kind of how it works with this. But I'll say right away, I mean, I knew obviously the hook from the trailer, and I was interested. But I mean, this movie wastes no time. It throws you right into it, and
I appreciate
within
that.
like 15 minutes, they're on this beach that they can't get out of.
The first 20, yeah.
And I'm really all in. I felt like it was just kind of just a mile a minute.
Because we put it on, and I was like, well, right when the act shift, we shift out of Act 1, I can go upstairs and put the little to bed. Oh no, we like downshifted, and we're going. We're going fast. And I was like, okay, well, he'll just put himself to bed tonight.
So what did you like about Old?
So many layers of good storytelling. That's like, I was reflecting on it, and I was like, man, you've got the relationship story. You've got the family, mom and dad shit. You've got the kids growing up shit, the growing old shit, the mental health, the medical health. Like, there are so many layers.
You said shit like 5 times. Are you sure you like this?
It deals with a lot of shit. Hey, M. Night, tell me if you're dealing with aging parents without telling me if you're dealing with aging parents.
See, I think there's a lot of themes like that. There is stuff where you're dealing with your own mortality. You're dealing with your kids growing up too fast. I mean, I'm going through that right now. I talk about every time I see my kids, I'm like, I feel like I'm right there at that part where I'm clinging on to them still being young kids, and they're not going to be for very much longer. No. So I think it has a lot of those themes in there, and it's just, I think the best part for me is I told her, is like, this is probably the first time an M. Night movie has had me on the verge of tears, because it is that dad shit. There is a part where was a guy is looking at his son right when it's near the end for him. And you just see in his eyes, I love you. I've watched you grow 20 years in the last couple of hours, and this is probably the last time I'll be looking at you, because obviously he's losing his eyesight. But yeah, that hit me right here. It's been like, yeah, you're watching your kid grow up too fast. Felt like it was very much symbolism for that.
You see, and what got me was the guy and Priska.
Priska? Yeah.
Priska's relationship and kind of where they went as they were speeding through the rest of their lives together. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, saying like how everybody gets kind of like, cause you feel like there was several different groups here, but I felt like these four, this family was an essential part of the story, since they were the last survivors here. And she kind of brought up like, well, they really work through their stuff fast. And I was like, well, think about like if you get told by a doctor, hey, you've got a year to live. You start trying to get all your affairs in order. You forgive a lot of people for some shit. You want people to forgive you. You go apologize for something you've been holding a grudge for years. You basically find out, oh, I've got maybe 10 hours. Yeah, you're going to move through some stuff really quick. And I mean, there was that point where it's like, it's obviously because of his aging, where he's like, I don't even remember what I was mad at you about anymore.
Right,
I'm not mad anymore. You know, and that was, so it hit on a lot of those things. And I was pretty satisfied with it.
Yeah, so time is one of those things like everybody's like, what would your superpower be? And people are like, fly or be invisible. Not me. I want to control time.
Control time.
Yeah, so time is one of those things I really grapple with. And so, yeah, where they're talking about, oh, you live in the past or you're always living in the future and now you are both forced to live in the present like that. That was a big thing for me.
I also think that well, obviously, since the kids age so much faster or their appearance changes so much more than the adults do, I have to say that like all three versions of those kids, they had
so
good
well
acting.
Cast.
Yeah, really
so
good
well
casting.
Casted.
It was 3 or 4 times they had to change actors on them, and they were really.
I don't know if they did any of the like CGI de-aging or anything.
I want to
like
say
that.
they did on some of the adult
a little
characters,
bit,
yeah.
Especially for putting wrinkles on Guy and Preska and and Crystal in the cave.
I'll also give credit for Van. Ending was fine. You know, he didn't overdo it. And I like his cameos in every one of his movies.
Yeah.
This one was fine or whatever, but I didn't feel like he overdid it on the ending. Actually, that was actually pretty much for an M. Night. It was kind of a happy ending. Really,
yeah, actually, I would agree with that. I also thought it wasn't that big of a twist or a leap because as the group is stuck on this beach, they figure it out. I will say, like, from the trailer, I thought that their child had gone missing. So what do I have here? I have child missing, beach, and something else. Oh, M. Night. I had the night scene for M. Night. So I thought the child had gone missing. I didn't realize your child just literally grew into a man in front of you.
Yeah. I think about what kids would have to grapple with. So you're basically going from like, oh, I'm 6 to all of a sudden, boom, I've got to adjust to going through maturity like this. Like, think about your brain isn't developing that way. That's just, it's just so many things to think about. It's hard. I'm looking at it from the parent's point of view. I wouldn't be able to process seeing my kids be like, hey, it's me, Mom. It's me, Dad. I'd be like,
no, it's me, Mom.
Yeah,
it's me, Dad.
But you think about the kids. I mean, what they're going through here, it's terrifying. And the baby stuff. Oh, yeah. No, it was messed up, man. It was really messed up. So what did you not like? It's an M. Night movie. There's going to be warts all over it. What did you not like about Old?
I don't know that there was anything I didn't like. Iblid,
the kid?
Yeah. I feel like
why do you hate kids? Jeez.
I didn't hate him, but I feel like maybe he had a little more of the story that I guess wasn't completely fleshed out.
I felt that way about the Madrid girl.
Yeah.
I felt like they were trying to tell me something about her there at the end. I was like, I guess I don't get it.
Yeah, there's definitely some components that were little, especially about the resort. I know we were both talking about like why wouldn't they get reported missing, but they had the passports. They just put them back and act like they never left. Or?
Yeah, I know you could get some plot holes in here and be like, okay, how is this place not getting shut down? Because it's like are you telling me that anyone who goes here they don't tell their family, hey, I'm going to this place, and also they just never come back? You don't think eventually they're going to be like, hey, we've got multiple reports that people went to this resort and just ended up missing. You know, but movies like this, you just let yourself go a little bit. I try not to put those kind of plot holes into it. For me, what actually holds us back to being like one of his best movies for me is, honestly, again, I brought this up when we were talking about Longlegs. I am not an acting snob, and I thought some of the acting was weird. And I don't know if that was the way it was supposed to be or what, but
from
like a couple times she was like, no, they were pretty good. I thought they were all good.
I thought the core family was.
There was not like one particular person, but there was even a couple times you're like, that was really rough acting. You know, like where the girl's having the seizure and that scene in the resort, you're like, this is really weird. And I know it was a choice, and I both like it and don't like it. There was cinematography that just kind of just seemed strange sometimes, and I know that there was a way they were doing camera angles because you didn't want to show the kids' faces and things like that. You didn't want to show certain things, but it almost looked like, why does everything look out of focus over here? It's just a little thing, but I understand why he did. So I actually think that was a good and a bad thing there. But yet, what really holds back for me, some of the performances, it's like these are all really good actors, and I felt like, I don't know, maybe you should have took a second try.
Were you not happy with the dementia doctor?
No, I thought he was playing the part he was supposed to be playing. I think I don't know. Again, it wasn't like the whole movie or something like that, or someone was just like bringing the movie down. Just a couple parts where I'm like, that was really stiff.
My big holdback, and I don't know if it was overwritten or overacted, but was the lady who was supposed to be the psychologist, and she was like, we should all just talk about our feelings. And I'm like, why?
Anything everybody's kind of going into crisis mode.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
the fact that there weren't more people. Oh, I got a bad thing. Medium-sized sedan, really? That's a rapper's name.
To swallow. That was. I'm like, oh no, something happened to medium-sized sedan. I'm like, never mind, something can happen to him. It's fine.
Nothing about the character, just the name.
The
was
name
just like,
was,
oh my god,
yeah.
give me a break. I think. So I think it captures just how disorienting that whole thing was, and how you would just be on the verge of a nervous breakdown. And I like that every solution that we came up with,
yes.
They came with an answer about why you can't do that.
Well, no, because Jaren came up with the solution if you just walked through slowly, like if you were coming up over there. And I thought that was a really good one. Nobody did it, though.
But if it didn't work, it's like you just wasted 20 years of your life, you know? Ooh. But I agree. What other solutions you got?
The swimming one surely didn't work, and the climbing one surely didn't work.
Climbing, we brought up all these things, yeah. And I felt like they kind of went through all of them pretty good there. But yeah, I was pretty satisfied with it overall. I don't know. I think I just, like I say, because you go into an M. Night movie now just expecting to have some kind of vicious reaction, and when it wasn't there, and you see what the actual solution was, and you know, I say it was kind of a happier ending for one of his movies.
Yeah,
it kind of depends on where you look at it. You know, you think this Warren group, they aren't. In their eyes, I can see why they think they're doing something good.
Yes.
You know, like, well, they just might have cured epilepsy, you know? And it's one of those arguments you get down to is like, you know, with human trials and things like that. Again, the movie has so many themes, so many things it's trying to say. Yes. So I think M. Night is one of the goats at creating a hook. He just never really sticks the landing on a lot of his stuff. But with this, I don't feel like he tried too hard, and the ending was satisfying enough for me to say this is top 5 M. Night movie for me. I don't know. I'd have to actually go through his thing.
We'd have to do an M. Night.
But I honestly think that for me, the dad shit just kind of really might be playing with my emotions a little bit, and think about this from a parent's point of view, trying to process that. I thought he captured that stuff really, really well, and it got me right here. Not gonna lie. So, star rating and pumpkins?
4 stars.
Yeah.
4 stars. I love. Like I said, there's multiple storylines, multiple points of view, layered very beautifully, but I am someone who is, look, I teach history, so time is a huge factor for me, and I needed that, or I really enjoyed that. That was good. And then on Spooky, I gave it 2. There are some intense scenes with the dementia doctor. Why do we keep letting him have a knife? Like, he's clearly got something wrong.
After they took it from him, like, I told her, like, throw it in the ocean. Don't put it in your bag. He can find that. Yeah.
Yes, that was a weird choice. The creepiest part of the movie, or the scariest part of the movie, hands down for me, was Crystal in the cave.
Yeah,
yes.
the bone breaking part was messed up. Yeah. That was freaky. But I don't know. I'm going 4 stars as well. I was really surprised. I
didn't expect that. Yeah.
No, I said the only thing I really felt like was holding it back was just like some stiff acting. That's me nitpicking. I think that for where his standing is now, I was like, this is probably my favorite movie since Glass. Was it Glass? Not Glass. Split.
Split. Yeah.
I love Split. I thought Split was fantastic, mostly because of James McAvoy, who's an amazing actor. But I was very, very satisfied with it. I'd probably go the same with you, too. I might push it to a 3 just because of the idea of how horrific that situation would be as a parent. You know,
and then my other kind of part of the horrifying is the medical exploitation of, like, well, we're going to sacrifice you guys. Like,
you know what I was thinking is when we were watching, I was like, oh, it's just like, I love it. We went to Sandals Montego Bay. I'm going to call it Santiago from now on. And I was like, I love that. When we got there, they like slap it. They're like, hey, you guys don't have a drink in your hand. And I'm like, I don't know if I'll take that drink now. We gotta get it. Yeah.
I'll take it, but we don't need any beach excursions while we get
Definitely. That's why I always say, guys, that when I go on these all-inclusive trips, I'm good staying on the resort. I don't need to go outside the resort. But that was old, guys. We're quite happy with it. And I'm sure that a lot of people right now are being like, "Did you watch the same movie as me? I thought it was terrible."
Yes.
You'll get a lot of that because, like I said,
50%.
it is split all the time.
So divisive.
One of those movies, and I still want to watch Knock at the Cabin. I haven't watched that yet, but I think I might actually end up reading the book first because I love Paul Tremblay's Head Full of Ghosts. So I think I want to read that before I watch that movie. But I'm glad we picked this one because it was between this and Knock at the Cabin. I'm glad we picked this one because this is in the upper echelon of the movies for spooky season for me so far. Even if it wasn't exactly what I would call a horror film, more of a thriller, I guess.
Crystal and her calcium in the cave. It's pretty horrific.
Very, very much so. So, guys, let us know what you thought about Old. Drop in the comments and tell us why we're stupid. I love hearing those kind of things. That's what YouTube is for. So drop in the comments, guys. We can talk to you there.